Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and it's Friday, which means we bring to you yet another obscurity in literature. And today we're going to take a look at Daniel Warren Johnson's Murder Falcon. Yeah, that is the actual title. Now, this is not the first edition of Murder Falcon. It was originally in paperback. Obviously, it had come out as individual issues, and so when I saw that they were going to be doing another reprint of it in hardcover, I actually got rid of my softcover, which is funny because I had meant to do a video on it like forever. I want to say one of Johnson's early, I don't know if I did one on Extremity, his first major breakthrough work, or maybe I just did it on Wonder Woman. Anyway, I've read most of his stuff, and I've got to say, to me, this is probably one of his more personal titles. I really liked Extremity, really liked his Wonder Woman stuff. I have yet to get around to Space Mullet, will one of these days. But to me, this is one of those books that I just read at the right time. Yeah, obviously the cover and the premise of it is absolutely bonkers, ridiculous, but it totally works. It's all about heavy metal, monsters, fighting. But it's actually a lot more heartfelt than what the premise would have you believe. It's much more about moving on and, overcoming life's obstacles and difficulties, which, when you see scenes like this, it doesn't really come across that way. And one of the things I really love about Daniel Warren Johnson's art is it's just so absolutely kinetic. There's just such a sense of action and scale. And I mean, who doesn't want to have giant murder chicken falcon monster birds that fight with the power of heavy metal? This book especially, I think, with just the amount of like zip tone or screen tone, or it could just be computer, the lining of everything, just the intensity of the speed of the action really makes for some interesting stuff. But like I said, it's kind of sandwiched in between a lot more heartfelt, serious, personal issues going on with this book, which I'm not going to get into. I would love to have you save those for yourself. But yeah, it's the power of metal fuels me. Again, so many speed lines and just, I don't know, his art, just the sense of how everything is so densely packed into the panels. There's a lot to digest, a lot to take in. Hanging out in vans, drinking beer, giant monsters. What more could you ask for, right? Obviously, I'm not going to give you too much. Oh, and then there's the mystical dungeons for which they have to uncover legendary items in order to best the evil from the other dimension, which everybody in the story eventually has access to. And there's upgrades as well. Wouldn't have a heroic action series without the heroes getting any sort of special equipment upgrades. Murder Falcon getting wings later on. And what I always thought was cool is as the story goes, you have more and more members joining up with the main character in order to have his band to fully realize his dream and what's going on there. And eventually making their way halfway across the world with all sorts of other stuff. To me, I thought this was a really cool idea where they brought in other concepts, and they even kind of just touch on it really shortly that, the main characters are using the power of music to defeat the monsters. And so there's a couple throwaway lines in the story about, there's similar issues happening all around the world as these monsters are invading. So you can see he's got the Japanese flag. I really would have liked to have touched on that and expanded this further. And as I'm not going to show you too much of what's going on towards the end, I want to say there's this little short story epilogue, and I do not remember this being in the original paperback. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to show you too much there. Other than, again, this is one of those spots where they're going to find legendary equipment, because what else are you going to do in a dungeon, right? And then we're going to jump over, and one of the cool things, and as a terrible artist, I can always appreciate when we have these sketchbook sections. And there's a big, nice chunk of it here. Obviously, I'm not going to give you it all. Take a look at, but it is appreciated, especially for somebody who is a much poorer artist than they would like to be. Of course, that would require me to practice. Like that random Gundam thrown in here. There's all sorts of musical references. It may not be as overt as something like, you know, Hagiwara's Bastard manga or the JoJo stuff, but it's definitely, there's some serious nods. And if you're a big music nut, and I mean, even me, I haven't really listened to metal in any capacity since like I was in junior high maybe, but I mean, one of the cool things is they've got a lot of the alternate covers. Even I can recognize where some of these are coming from. I thought that was kind of cool. That takes me back to junior high. I want to say Tony Daniel did a similar style story with music as a weapon. Not so much fighting giant monsters, but yeah, I've got the artist right here. All in all, I thought really cool book. Sure, I mean, the premise on the surface is very goofy, silly, but there's a lot more of a heartfelt message in this. And I'm not going to get into it because that's one of those things I want you guys to discover. But this is just brand spanking new. I mean, obviously, if you're going to go with the paperback version, I don't think you're going to miss out on a whole lot other than just that section in the back. And while the story that got added in, I'm pretty sure got added in. I got to double check on that. I'm feeling like I didn't see it before. I'm pretty sure I read it very thoroughly. This is like one of those books that I always wanted to get to and I just never did. Laziness. Something that this book obviously was like what I needed to read at the right time. I'll be honest, sometimes just sitting down to work on these videos, as much as I enjoyed them, as much as this is for my pleasure as well as for your guys', I hope. I mean, it gets to be a drag at times, and it's tough. It ain't easy. So I can appreciate the mindset that the author was coming through in this, and it definitely resonated with me in a very positive and uplifting way. So if that sounds like something that you might want to check out, absolutely give this a good look. Might as well give Johnson's stuff a look for all the other books he's done too, because they're pretty cool, and he's a really excellent artist. So I'll put an Amazon link down below. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it as much as I did, and I am going to let you all go. So with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.